I am Mandy Roberts, and today we are going to talk about our Chapter 31 in our Griffin 2006 text, which is about the face negotiating theory of Stella Ting Toomey. Griffin 2006 says that Stella Ting Toomey's face negotiation theory helps explain cultural differences in responses to conflict. There are four concepts that are linked together of ways that people handle conflict. The first is type of culture from which they come. Second is the type of self-control. 3 is the type of face maintenance. And 4 is the type of conflict management. Ting Toomey bases her face negotiation theory on the distinction between collectivism and individualism. I really like how our Griffin 2006 text points out that people are not cultural clones. There are varied self-images within cultures. Ting Toomey uses the term interdependent or interdependent self to refer to the degree to which people conceive of themselves as relatively autonomous from or connected to others. This is another way to talk about the self-control part. Griffin 2006 tells us about the multiple faces of face. There's self-face, other face, and mutual face. So the question is, whose face are you trying to save? Griffin 2006 text tells us about the different types of conflict management. Ting Toomey initially identified 5 distinctive responses to situations. They're somewhat self-explanatory. The first one is avoiding, then there's obliging, then there's compromising, dominating, and integrating. There was also 3 additional conflict styles that came about, which is emotional expression, passive aggression, and third-party help. Our Griffin 2006 text states that Ting Toomey's ultimate goal for her theory was not just to identify the ways people in different cultures negotiate face or handle conflict, but she really believed there were 3 key skills that were required to effectively communicating across the cultures. One was knowledge. It's an important dimension. You need to know about the person and the culture from which they come from. The second is mindfulness. This is showing that you are keeping in mind what you know about this person. And then the third is interaction skills. This is your ability to communicate appropriately, effectively, and what I find to be most important, adaptively in any given situation. While studying the Griffin 2006 text, I learned that Ting Toomey not only came up with the face negotiating theory, but she actually conducted a 4-nation survey to test the core of her theory. While I studied this theory, I found it to be one of the most compelling that I've studied so far, and the one that I see in my own life frequently, and I can see it at play not only in my office, but in my personal life as well. I can see that keeping face and negotiating face is very important to success in life. I was raised in a Southern family, and I can remember growing up that my mother taught me at a very, very young age how to keep face. I don't know if that's what she meant to be teaching, but she did. We would have dinner guests over, and sometimes being a small child, I really did not feel the need to entertain people, or especially if they were my parents' friends. And she would always tell me, you don't have to like it, but you do have to fake it. So from a very early age, my mother taught me that it was important to not only use the knowledge, but also be mindful. And also, with all these skills, I learned how to have interaction skills. And she taught me that from a very young age, that whether she meant to or not, she taught me a little bit about the face negotiation. And I believe that it is very effective in life. And if anyone can learn the skills and practice the skills, they could go very far.